Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. Rabbana zidna ilma. Allahumma faqihna fid din. Allahumma inni as'aluka ilman nafiya wa rizqan tayyiba wa amalan mutaqabbala. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen. So here we are with our session number 129 for Quranic Arabic grammar and session number 10 for Surah Ar-Rahman. Let's begin with the name of Allah. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. I will start with few questions about Jumla اعتراضية, how to distinguish between Jumla اعتراضية and Jumla استئنافية. When Jumla اعتراضية comes to your mind, remember it is interjection. It will be seen as coming between two ideas which were the same, and it is the different idea, but this, for example, when we were starting with our surah Ar-Rahman allama al-Quran khalaqal insan allamahul bayan, everything was about Ar-Rahman. And then you saw verse number 5 and 6. Verse number 5 and 6, you learned about skies. You learned about sun and the moon and the star and the tree. And the discussion then again went back to Ar-Rahman. وَالسَّمَاءَ رَفَعَهَا وَوَضَعَ الْمِيزَانَ. And he raised the sky and he placed the mizan. So the topic went back to Ar-Rahman, right? If you remember, we have covered that. So it is very important for Jumla اعتراضية, when you will say something is اعتراض, something is interjection, you will see, you can label it as three sentences that are A, B, and C. You will notice the sentence B is a different topic. However, A and B are the same thing. A and B is the same thing. So what will be A in this case? Can I say 1 to 4 is A? This again is, till here we can, because it was all connected, it is C. And this in the middle is interjection, and this is going to be B. Yes or no? If you all agree, type 1 if this is clear to you all. When you have something, and I'm going to show you an example of that is not related to whatever is said before, and the C is not there. When you have A and then B, and then A is nowhere to be seen again, that new beginning, the new beginning is going to be called isti'naf. It may be preceded by waw, istinafiya, or it can be without waw. Just like here, you don't see any waw, but you are calling these sentences Jumla اعتراضية. Here, look here. فَإِن لَمْ تَفْعَلُوا. So if you do not do it, فَاتَّقُوا النَّارَ الَّتِي وَقُودُهَا النَّاسُ وَالْحِجَارَةُ. And if you don't do it, then you be conscious of Allah. You should be conscious of the fire, that which its fuel are people and stones. So this was Jumla Shartiya, right? Shart was set in by harf jazima in. Lam taf'alu fe'lu shart. Jawabu shart beginning with faw rabita. Ittakun nar allati waquduha an-nasu wal hijara. This sentence says, and you will never do it. You will never do it. If I remove this sentence, does A and B still make sense? Yes or no? Does A and C still make sense, right? A and C still make sense. The B not being there is still, it's just interjection, right? It's just interjection. And, I was asked this question by one of the sisters, that is this for tawqeed? I find it to be for the emphasis, but when you read about e'tirad, some scholars may think that this is because of this is bringing in more emphasis. However, I'm not 100%. I cannot, say that this is for tawqeed. No, It's just extra information. For me, it's more like, additional information, not extra. In Quran, there is nothing extra. It is an additional information. Okay? I hope this is clear. Again, قال ائتمر رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم وأتمرنا معه. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam made an umrah, and we did umrah with him. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam. What is it doing? It is coming between two sentences that are connected through waw atf, right? So this sentence, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, is going to be considered as jumla اعتراضية, because the sentence, the theme A and C is the same. B, something additional, right? And you again went back to the same topic by وَاتَمَرْنَا مَعَهُ. So this is what we are learning about اعتراض. We are still on اعتراض. This is اعتراض. Yeah. When you see a استئناف, you will see the topic has started, a new topic has started, and after that this new topic goes on, and or this, the A is not being mentioned again. The A is not there anymore. Unlike here A and C are connected. B is in between, but A and C are connected. But in استئناف, there is no C. There is no connection of A with the C. Is it clear? Okay, let's start with the verses from today, and inshallah, you will understand it more clearly. So the waw that is in the beginning of jumla اعتراضية, the name of the waw is going to be, who is going to tell me the name of this waw? The same name as the name of the sentence, اعتراضية, waw اعتراضية. Okay, you learned it in here, right? So the waw that begins a new topic, you name it waw اعتراضية. Okay, the same name as the name of the sentence. The waw that comes before jumla استئنافية is going to be called waw استئنافية. It starts a new topic. Now you will see no A, B, C. C is, if the C is new beginning, then it's just going to continue. A is not going to be mentioned again. A is not going to be mentioned again. Okay, when you see it in the relevance, you will not see it close. You may see it towards the end of the surah, the same topic is coming back again, but not close to it. Okay, for example, in the last session, alhamdulillah, we learned about criminals, right? Yuriful mujrimuna bisimahum wa yukhadhu bin nawasi wal aqdam, right? فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان هذه جهنم التي يكذب بها المجرمون يطوفون بينها وبين حميم آن. So now comes here وَلِمَنْ خَافَ مَقَامَ رَبِّهِ. Are these people who are fearful of the place of their Rabb, of the status of their Rabb? Are these the same people that were talked about before? What do you think? So now comes your grammar. A person of sound knowledge of grammar will understand that now I'm starting a new beginning. And again, here, Jannatan are being discussed. There is no mention of A, right? No mention of A anymore. So this waw, should I call it اعتراض or should I call it استئناف? What do you think? In this paragraph, you are nowhere seeing any mention of Jahannam. So it is not that A and C, you find a C in these verses. There is no C. There's no mention of Jahannam. So call it استئناف. From this course, take away these vows with you. Wherever you go, I'm assuring you, you will find them helpful. I did not used to get a lot of information about these different kinds of vows. So I would have to learn it a very hard way. So inshallah, we'll try to make it simple, easy, understandable to all of you, inshallah. So here, وَلِمَنْ خَافَ مَقَامَ رَبِّهِ. Now you all know there is a new topic starting, and that's why the question was posted on YouTube, so that you go over your vows and are prepared for today's lesson, inshallah. So here you are going to call vow as vow isti'naf. Liman khafa. Liman. What is liman? It cannot be halia. It cannot be halia. If it was halia, this was going to be describing the criminals, this sentence. But is this sentence, and for who he fears the status of his Rabb, are the two gardens. Is this for the mujrimun? Are the two gardens for the mujrimun? No. So this vow, no one is going to call it halia. Okay. This vow is istinafiya. New topic is beginning. You are now learning about a person who is very fearful of the status of his Rabb, and he does things the right way. There is a clear understanding of truth and falsehood. He knows the truth from the falsehood. He knows right and from the wrong, right? So liman is jar wal majroor. You have already labeled it as mutalik bil khabar. Barakallahu feek. Man is, what kind of an ism are you seeing here? Man. Mausul, right? It's a mausul. If I tell you, is this man talking about just the males? Is it talking about just one male? Is it talking about just one single man? What do you think? Is this mukhtassa? No, it is not. It is not. So it is, the name for it is mushtarika, right? It is mushtarika. Remember the slide that I told you to not forget? So keep that in mind. This man is mushtarika, right? It is talking about men, women, singular, plural, everyone is included. When it is including everyone, it is mushtarika. Okay, very simple. Now comes when you see it's a mausul. The next step is you look for silatul mausul, and silatul mausul in this case is, you see three types of silatul mausul. One is jar wal majroor or zarf. Number two is jumla ismiya. Number three is jumla failya. Here we are seeing jumla failya. Right answers are coming, and I'm very, very proud of you. Khafa maqama rabbihi. Khafa. There is no alamatul mudari. If it is jumla failya, you are going to tell me it's at madin mudari. Madin. When something does not change its ending, is it flexible or non-flexible? Non-flexible. The term for non-flexible in Arabic is mabni. What is the term for non-flexible? Mabni. Can I say that this fail is mabni alal fatha because my madin always ending with fatha? Always ends with fatha. Fataha, nasara, istaghfara, ja'ala, sami'a. So can I say that my fail madin, when it has a pronoun huwa, it is non-flexible with a fatha at the end? Mabni alal fatha. That is the meaning of that whole phrase that you see in my slides sometimes, if you ever see those slides. Who is the pronoun? Every fail has a doer. Every fail must have a doer. So doer is huwa, maqama. What is maqama? When you have a fail and a file, the next step is maf'ul. So this is going to be your maf'ul. Okay, you can call it maf'ul bihi. And some may treat it as zarf, but basically, let me tell you, can I call it maf'ulun fihi? By any chance, anyone can call it maf'ul fihi. Never call it maf'ul fihi. Wrong. Do you know what is maf'ul fihi? And I'm just teasing you right now. Okay, so I have a very dry sense of humor, I think. And I don't have a sense of humor, I think, sometimes. So yeah. So let me tell you, maqama, when you are calling something as maf'ulun fihi, remember, maf'ul fihi is a maf'ul that is the time and place of action. Is this the time and place of an action? Are you doing it at the place of your Rabb? Are you with your, Rabb is everywhere, but in terms of, your maf'ulun fihi. Your maf'ulun fihi is a noun, is a maf'ul. That is the time and place of your action. So do not forget that. I have these answers from many different groups. Dakhal al-Jannah. He entered Jannah. So Jannah is maf'ulun fihi. No, it is not maf'ulun fihi because the person was not yet in Jannah. Dakhala, he has yet to enter the Jannah. So when you have a maf'ul fihi, always remember, is this maf'ul answering the time and place of an action? Am I clear? When I said la yas'alul, we were doing this verse. Let me take you back. Here, we said izan shakkatis sama'u. Let me see the verse. فَكَانَتْ وَرْدَةً كَالدِّهَانِ فَيَوْمَئِذٍ لَا يَسْأَلُ لَا يَسْأَلُ. So إِذَا was the time when the person is not going to be asked about his sins. The mouths will be sealed, right? So it's a time you can call this maf'ul fihi, right? Yus'alu, right? This is going to be maf'ul fihi, but not any time and place you are going to label as maf'ul fihi unless and until that time and place is the time and place when you did the action, where you did the action. From today onwards, always remember, take a pause on any zarf, take a pause on any zarf or any place and ask yourself, was the doer at that place? I'm labeling it as maf'ulun fihi. When you say ihdina sirat al-mustaqim, as-sirat al-mustaqim, should it be maf'ulun fihi or maf'ulun bihi? What do you think? Guide me to the straight path. So maf'ulun bihi, because you are not yet there, you want to be there. You want to be there. You are not there yet. Okay, it cannot be fihi. It's not your where question. Your where. Yes, it is answering. Where do you want to be guided to? But is it the time and place of the action? So remember the time and the place of an action. Okay. So you have to be doing the action at that very place, at that very time. Okay. So maqama is going to be maf'ulun bihi, rabbihi, maqama, rabbi are connected. What is the relationship between maqam and rabbi? Why is maqama light? There is an idafa, rabbihi is another idafa. Where is your ending of the silatul mawsul? Where is your sila ending? Rabbihi is the end of the sila. Barakallahu feek, yes. And for whoever fears, the status of his Rabb are two gardens. Two gardens. So jannatani. What do you think is jannatani? What's the status of this word? It's a mubtada. What's the status? It's rough. Do you see any status, any sign of rough status? Yes, it is mubtada marfu. And it is muakhar too. There is an alif there. What is the name of this alif? Because this alif is going to come till the end of the surah. It's a doer. Is it isnain or musanna? When the alif is, no, it's not a doer alif. The word is not a doer. This word is not a doer. We are in jumla ismiya. We are seeing an ism. In the ism, you don't have a file. You don't have a pronoun. An ism can be a file, but here, this alif is aliful musanna because we are seeing it as in our ism. Ism does not have an attached pronoun, right? It is musanna. Musanna. The alif, that is the doer pronoun, like just like in tukazibani, is aliful isnain, and this one is a doer. Okay? But this is just a sign of raf. This is a sign of that there are two. The number of jannatan is 2. Okay. There are the subject, the mubtada, the number of mubtada, the number of this mubtada is there. Not one jannah, there is 2. It signifies the number. It signifies the status. Only the number and the status. Okay. In tukazibani, it is not just the number. It's not just it is the number and the doer. It's a number and the doer. It has nothing to do with the status in tukazibani. This alif has nothing to do with the status. What has to do with the status in word tukazibani? What is the letter which has to do with the status of this word tukazibani? Noon has to do with the status. Barakallahu feek, Sister Afshan. So proud of you. Noon has to do with the status. Alif is just for the number. Alif is the doer. Alif is the pronoun. Okay? And this alif in tukazibani is aliful isnain. This alif is aliful musanna. Okay? So now you see فَبِأَيِّ آلَاءِ رَبِّكُمَا تُكَذِّبَانِ, and you go to the verse number 48. Zawata afnan. Zawata. What is this word? Singular, plural, what? What do you think? And is there any way you can connect it to the words before? It's a dual word. What helps you determine that it's a dual word? How do you know? Dual. There's an alif. What's the name of this alif again? Because alifs are not going to leave you in Surah Ar-Rahman. There are a lot of alifs. If it is ithnain or musanna, it is musanna. It is aliful musanna. Still musanna. Musanna. Okay? In an ism, musanna. In an ism, musanna. In a fail, ithnain. Okay? So aliful musanna is there. And it is, their number is 2. And afnan in zawata afnan. What is the relationship between these two words? No problem. Zawata afnanin. Zawata afnanin. So here comes your review. A quick review of zuzazi, zata, zatu, zati. And then comes zawata, zawatai, zawatai. Where is that? And it should be right here for you. So these are special isms that are going to be seen as mudaf. Okay. So whatever you see after them is not going to be their sifa. It's going to be mudaf ilayhi. Keep that in mind. It's going to be mudaf ilayhi. This is majroor because of idafa. What's the number of this word? Can you call this a dual word? Can this be a dual? It cannot be. It cannot be. No. Because this noon has a tanween, afnanin. Noon of a dual does not have a tanween. Noon of a dual just has a kasra. Noon kasra. Just like ainain, ainani, jannatani, right? This is not anin. Anin is not dual. Is not indicating anin is not at all ever going to indicate 2. Okay, keep that in mind. Just small things, and we make these mistakes, and that's how we learn, right? So now if I have to ask you, how am I going to connect zawata afnanin with the verses before? How can I connect? Can it be the sifa for something? Zawata jannatani. Are they matching? Everyone agrees that there was a jannatani, and zawata afnanin is a sifa for jannatani, right? Okay, I'm going to skip for verse number 49, and I'm going to go to the next sentence that is right there for you. Fihima ainani tajriyani. Fihima ainani tajriyani. What kind of a sentence are we seeing here? Jumla ismiya. Mutaliq bil khabar muqaddam. Jar wal majroor. Mutaliq bil khabar muqaddam. Ainani. What is that? Mubtada. What is the indication of mubtada? Because mubtada, what's the status? Mubtada must be just raf in status. There is no other status for mubtada. And alif is there, which is telling you that this is the mubtada marfu bil aliful musanna. Then you see a common ism. Do you take a pause on common ism? Yes or no? You do, right? You are going to take a pause on your common ism, and you are going to go look at what is tajriyani. What is tajriyani? It's an ism, fail, or harf. Tajriyani. Is it an ism, fail, or harf? It's a fail. Jumla failiya. Fail. Who is a fa'il? Alif is a file, and the name of this alif is aliful اثنين. This one you can call اثنين. Okay, this is اثنين. So, and this is the doer pronoun, right? Is the doer pronoun visible? Is it visible? Yes, right? Because we did, and the name for visible is, what do we call visible in Arabic? Baris. Very well done. So now, is there any way you can connect ainani tajriyani, two springs that flow? Can I connect? Can I connect? Can it be my complex sifa for ainani? Do I see a pronoun going back to ainani? Is there a pronoun alif there going back to dual here, right? Ainani, is it a gender wise? What is the gender of tajriyani? What is it? Is huma feminine or huma masculine? It's a huma feminine, because ainin is not a word that is given in your story or anywhere. So remember, this word is also feminine. And what kind of a feminine is ain? No, it is it talking about eyes, or it is talking about springs? Is it talking about eyes or springs? It is talking about two springs of water. So it's not a body part. It is not a body part, but it is just your muannas samai. Arabs used to treat springs as feminine. Remember that. Okay, it is muannas samai. It is not a broken plural. It is a dual. We just did it. Ainani, two springs, right? It's not a broken plural. It is a dual word, which is marfu bil aliful اثنين. We just did it, right? Ani ending. So aliful musanna. It's the dual word, which is feminine, and the feminine. If I ask you the type of feminine, you are going to say it is a herd feminine. It's a herd feminine. It is muannas samai, because you don't see any sign. Do you see any sign? Ta marbuta, alif maksura, alif mamduda here. Is it biologically feminine? Is this word XX chromosome? No, it is not, neither muannas hakiki. It is not muannas qiyasi. It is muannas samai. Arabs said so. Okay, so it is just how they treated it. So the world treats it like that. So ainani, muannas samai, and tajriyani is going to be the sifa, because ainani was commonism followed by a fail. Commonism followed by a fail that has a pronoun in it. So we are going to connect them through mawsuf and sifa relationship. Is everyone with me so far? Right? Because I see sisters, Sultana, Sister Anab, Sister Rana, Sister Rabia Basri, Sister Amina, Sister Aisha, Sister Rashida, Sister Azra, Sister Zohra, Sister Amreen, and I want, however, each and every one of you to be active in your chat. Okay, this is how this class works. That's a format of this class. Okay, so now let's see another sentence. I'm going to go on, go and find. Oh, okay, no, I did not finish it completely. Let me see how can I connect this. What is this sentence talking about? In them two are two springs of water that flow. Yes, you are right, Sister Rashida. This is going to be the sifa for jannatani. So what is the status of this sentence now? Fihima jannata ainani tajriyani. What should be the status? The same status as the status of jannatani. So I'm going to call it fi mahalli raf'in. Fi mahalli raf'in, right? Because jannatani had one sifa, zawata afnan. Then it has another sifa, fihima ainani tajriyani. Now comes another sifa. Or let's see if it is a sifa. Let's see. Fihima, in them too, min kulli fakihatin zawjan. So fihima. What is this fihima? Mutaliq bil khabar. Jar wal majroor mutaliq bil khabar. Okay, just to keep it simple, easy, muqaddam. Yes, it is jar wal majroor mutaliq bil khabar muqaddam. You can call it, yeah. Then comes min kulli. Yes, there is another jar wal majroor. Min kulli fakihatin. Kulli fakihatin are connected how? Is kulli harf jar? No, there is, good job. There is an idafa. There is one MBK. Then there is another jar wal majroor. with idafa, right? There is another one. And then comes zawjani, the status of zawjan. What is the role and the status of zawjan? Let's start with status. It is rough in status. How do you know it is rough in status? Alif. There is an alif there. And this alif is called aliful musanna. It tells you the status of your word is rough and the number of your word is 2, right? And then, so there are two kinds of every kind of fruits. Whatever fruits are there, they are of two kinds, okay? So this alif is aliful musanna, noun is avid and tanween. It is coming from the tanween, right? This is the noun that comes from the tanween. It is nothing to do with the status of the word. Yes or no? Do you all agree with me, my dear students? Yes, it has nothing to do with the status of the word. You already determined the status by just finding alif. When I asked you to give me one letter that gives you the status of the word, you're going to tell me aliful musanna. When I ask you, is the word light or heavy? So then you are going to tell me it's heavy because noon is there, okay? Yeah. This sentence, this whole sentence is also going to be sifa for those two jannas that you just learnt about, and those were for a person who was fearful of the status of his Rabb. So for you to be deserving of these two jannas, you have to be fearful of the status of your Rabb. And just few minutes ago, I was not very fearful, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless all those muhsineen in our life that tells us, okay, go back to Allah, connect with Allah. Don't let shaitan get the very best out of you, okay? So here, to be worthy of those jannas, we need to be fearful of maqam of our Rabb, and then we will be getting those two jannas. And this is the jannah where you will find every kind of fruit which will be of two types. So now when you see min kulli fakihatin, and as I know, most of you go to Arab and you check the Arab books as well. So min kulli fakihatin, if it was after zawjani, what will be the role of min kulli fakihatin? Two types of every kind of fruit. Yes, it is sifa number 3. Yes, you are right. It is, the whole sentence is sifa number 3. You have read it as hal. Some will call it as sifa. So if it is after zawjani, min kulli fakihatin, 2 pairs of every fruit. So it is describing zawjan. It can be the sifa, which has been brought forward. It can also be hal. But when you call it hal, what is the problem? If you call it that, this is a hal for zawjani, what is the problem that we need to fix, that we need to work on here? I'm not seeing sahibul hal. What is sahibul hal? Sahibul hal is zawjain. Yes, so sahibul hal must be proper. That's the only thing. Sahibul hal can be jar wal majroor fragment as well. Remembers, Aisha, there are 3 types of hal. Hal can be a mufradism, in which case it must be nasbin status, but it can be a fragment, it can be a sentence, right? So the problem here is sahibul hal is here common. Zawjan is common. But let me give you a solution for that. There are few conditions when your sahibul hal can be common too. But for when you are analyzing Quran, the first main thing that should be on your tips is sahibul hal is always proper. Okay, I don't want you to forget that. When you are teaching someone, do not forget to tell them your sahibul hal must be proper. And yes, there are 1% of cases or 3% of cases. For those 3% of cases, don't ruin people's concepts, okay? Because the main idea that you must bear in mind, that must be engraved in your brain, is sahibul hal must be proper. Yes, there are exceptions. In Arabic, there are, just like in any language, there are lots of exceptions, and these are the exceptions that I have in front of you. If your sahibul hal is preceded by negation or question or even forbidding, okay, your sahibul hal can be common. When sahibul hal has a sifa, sahibul hal can be common. When it is a mudaf, it can be common. When hal is a sentence preceded by waw halia, in that case, you may see your hal, your sahibul hal is going to be, can be common, okay? When hal is present before sahibul hal, when your hal comes before your sahibul hal, it is allowed for hal to be common. Which of the condition applies to the words here? Which of these five? Number 5, 1, 2, 3. Give me the number. Sister Ambreen already gave me the number, and she's saying because my sahibul hal was after the hal, so it may be the reason that it is common. Number 5 applies. So take number 5 and keep this slide. Take a picture of the slide so that you do not forget. So you do not forget that sometimes, very rarely, 1 to 3% of these cases, you will sound very smart in front of your students. Your students will be like, my teacher knows everything. So for that, please keep that in mind. Memorize those 5 conditions, and inshallah, this will help you reconcile why we can call min kulli fakihatin as hal as well. Okay. So why is this hal? Because hal is before sahibul hal. So here we are allowing the hal to be common. Otherwise, hal must be proper, as Sister Afshan has said, and I will 100% agree with her. If I have to teach someone, I will never say, okay, there are some exceptions and those exceptions. No, I'm not going to teach them like that. I'm going to tell them sahibul hal must be proper. And then when they have learned it by heart, they have understood it like, everything is clear to them like a day. At that point, when I have to now train them for the world, because they don't have to just do one verse, they don't have to go over the Arab of one surah, they have to learn and teach the Arab of entire Quran. Then I will teach them that, there are conditions when you will see your sahibul hal can be common. Okay. So that was that. So the whole sentence now, is going to be again the sifa for this jannatani. So see how much you will get in this jannah. So now what will happen next? The story goes on. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is beautifully painting the picture of this jannah in front of your eyes. Do you feel it? Yes or no? I know it's very, the grammar drives you intellectually. It sometimes, you just, it's just too much of intellect, but nothing of emotions and spirit and everything. So I want you to go back and feel those jannahs as well. Feel the fear of Allah and His status. Have the fear of Allah so that you are worthy of those 2 jannahs, which are full of every kind of fruits. And there are 2 rivers running. Hi, Zabardast. And then every kind of fruit there. And how will that, what else is coming? Muttaki'ina ala furushim. So let's just do this part. Muttaki'ina is nasb status. Who will be reclining on the cushions? Who are those people? Who are those people who will be reclining in Jannah very easily, restfully, no fear that day? Those who fear today the status of their Rabb. Those who fear. Why is this nasb status? Why is this nasb status? It is the hal for who? Waliman khafa, whoever fears the status of his Rabb. Khafa has a pronoun huwa in it. So, but this man. Is man mukhtassa or mushtarika? It is mushtarika. It is describing those mans that are there. So it is because it is man includes everyone. That is why you are seeing muttaki'ina. But is it just muttaki'ina include men only or us include all? It is because the man was mushtarika for all genders, all numbers. We are included. We will be there reclining. No fear of anything. No worries of work. No worries that I have to do this. I have missed my this salah, and I have missed my zikr in the morning or something. Yeah, you will be doing zikr, but the things will not be as you're very tight and you don't want to miss the time of the sahar when you should do istighfar, right? I hope you all are very careful of the timings of your zikr and everything and your salah. You are always guiding your salah so that you are worthy of this Jannah. This Jannah is awaiting for you, okay? And there you will be reclining on the cushions. And what are those cushions? Ala furushin bata'inuha min istabrak. So bata'inuha. What is this sentence here? Is this a complete sentence, you think? Okay, very well done, Sister Liba. I agree with you. It is the sifa. For what? Furush is a cushion and its inner side is made up of a very zabardast type of a silk, which is called istabrak. So bata'inuha is going to be, what kind of a sentence are we seeing? I'm giving you I already gave it to you. It's a sentence. So jumla ismiya, where is the mubtada? Every jumla ismiya has a mubtada and khabar or mutaliq bil khabar. And sometimes you may have khabar, sometimes you may have mutaliq bil khabar. And sometimes, according to how we do, we are going to call bata'inuha mubtada min istabrak is going to be my jar wal majroor, mutaliq bil khabar, my MBK. Is this word have anything that goes back to furush? Ha is there. Barakallahu feek, Sister Amreen and Sister Azra. Ha is there that is going back to furush. Furush is broken plural. So broken plurals are treated as single feminine. Ha is rightly going back to that. So my jumla ismiya is going to be the sifa for furush. Allah is so merciful. He is al-wudud. He is explaining each and everything for you. He is giving you the complete imagery of what is awaiting you. And sometimes, those pillows filled with down, they're so expensive, in stores here and whatnot. So sometimes we should not buy them thinking that, what awaits for us is way better than this down pillow, which I'm going to waste so much money on. Buy something cheap, and it's okay to live cheap. It's okay in this world, right? Okay, now let's see. So you all are telling me that this is the condition of that person who fears status of his Rabb. So this is going to be the hal, and this hal is jumla, fragment, or this hal is mufrad, ism. Which category does it go to? Let me show you the picture and tell me the category. And we just let it go. I removed it from this slide. Let me take you to here. 1 second. Which mufrad, jumla, or shibhi jumla? No, Sister Amina, muttaqiina. Focus on muttaqiina, right? Muttaqiina is mufrad, right? So you call it mufrad, right? Muttaqiina is hal mansuba or hal mansub. Hal is a word that can be masculine, feminine, both. So there are words in Arabic that can be masculine and feminine, both in gender. Sometimes you will see hal mansub, and sometimes you will see hal mansuba with ta marbuta ending, because this is a word that can have both genders. A very free word, very flexible kind of a word. Okay, so this muttaqiina is mufradism, right? And ala furushin, you are going to call it mutaliq bil muttaqiina. Then you are going to connect this jumla to furush, and everything will go in the same bucket, right? And then in this Jannah that is awaiting you, in these two Jannahs that are awaiting you, there is something else. وَجَنَلْ جَنَّتَيْنِ دَانٍ. And the fruits of these two Jannahs are hanging down, so that you don't have to do any effort. You don't have to climb on a ladder to pluck the fruit. It is right there for you. Just imagine. Janal jannataini danin. Fruits of the two Jannahs are down. Jannah is a word that is not going to show you its rough status because it is ending with alif. But I'm going to tell you this is rough in status. Yes, it is rough in status. With the dhamma that is not visible. It is ending with an alif, right? This is an alif because it has no dots. It is an alif. So can I say it is marfu bid dhammatul muqaddara? My class, you have learned it with the af'al. I used to tell you dhammatul muqaddara. So can I say it here? Yes, and all my new sisters who have joined with their, with the depth of their heart, and really made me so proud of them. So Do you all agree that because I am assuming, when I assume something, I call it muqaddara. When it is not visible, I will call it muqaddara. Okay, so it is marfu bid-dammatul muqaddara. So if it is marfu, why is al-jannataini? What is the status of jannataini? Is it nasb or jar? It is jar because it is mudafun ilayhi, right? It is mudaf ilayhi, so it is jar in status, right? So Sister Rabia, we will narrow it down. We'll say it is mudaf ilayhi and it is jar in status, right? What is the sign of jar status? Give me one letter only. I don't want 10 letters. I want one, just one letter. Yeah, very well done. So proud of you all. Danin was actually Dani Yun. It was actually Dani Yun. So what should be the role of Dani Yun here? If it is Danin was actually Dani Yun. Fruit of these two jannas are hanging down. When you have a mubtada, you look for a khabar, right? When you have a mubtada, which was Janal Jannataini, and now Danin is going to be the khabar, right? Make sense or no? Because it is not the sifa, it's going to, there's a whole sentence that the fruit of this Jannah is hanging down. And again, as Sister Amina is saying, Dani Yun is marfu bid dammatul muqaddara. Because if I'm assuming it to be there, then it is muqaddara, right? If I'm saying that this was in original form of this word was Dani Yun. So I know that there was a ya there that has the matain, right? The ya that has been omitted has the matain. Yes, it's a manqus, and the ya has the matain there, Dani Yun. So I'm going to again say marfu with dammatul muqaddara. Marfu with damma, that is assumed. Marfu with dammatul muqaddara. Okay, now comes after you have found, and this is again whole sentence. You can say that this waw can be, what should you call this waw? Can it be atfan what is before, or you can also call it waw haliya, that is describing the jannah, that is the hal of, that is giving you the hal of the jannah, right? We can call it haliya, or we can just connect it through atf. In either case, the status of this jumla ismiya is going to be, what is the status of this jumla ismiya? In either case, janal jannataini danin, it's going to be fi mahalli nasbin, right? It's going to be fi mahalli nasbin because we started with the hal, and now everything is going to go in the bucket of hal, because this is describing how will that jannah be, how will be the fruit in the jannah. This is the situation in the jannah, is the condition of the jannah, is the state of the jannah, is the fruits of these two jannahs are hanging down. They are so within our reach. Okay, alhamdulillah. So now let's see what is coming next. Okay, now what was this I have? Okay, now no, I have to go back some. Okay, so this was that, and now comes my next verses. Okay, fihinna qasiratu tarfi. What is right there for me? Jumla ismiya, jumla fi'liya. Jar wal majroor, starting the sentence, qasiratu tarfi is my jumla ismiya. Jar wal majroor, mutalib al khabar muqaddam, qasiratu tarfi is my, qasiratu is going to be labeled as mubtada muakhar. Mubtada muakhar. Please don't forget that. Please don't forget that. These are simple sentences. You must have been told. And I always have given, I have a separate slide in when I was teaching you Jumla Ismiya. When you have a jar wal majroor, and it's beginning the sentence, the chances are whatever is coming after that jar wal majroor is your mubtada muakhar. Okay, keep that in mind. So this is your mubtada muakhar, and it is, qasiratu is mubtada is mudaf, and qasiratu tarfi is mudaf ilayhi, right? That's okay. So it is an idafa, barakallahu feek. So in them, so what are there? They are women who are sitting there with their gazes down. Okay. Let's see what is coming after it. What about lam yatmishunna insun qablahum wala jan? What kind of a sentence is beginning now? Give me the type of the sentence, and I think I will end here today. Okay. Lam is, what kind of a harf lam is? Jazima. What is another name that I have taught you of lam? Harf nafyin wa jazmin wa qalbin. Why is it called qalbin? Why would I call lam qalbin? And it will solve all that has to be said in English about it. It's going to be very brief, concise, but it's, everything is there in these three words. Jazmin, it makes mudari majzoom. Nafyin, it negates jumla failure. Qalbin, just like heart changes all the time, it changes the tense of the fail after it. Okay, it changes the tense of the fail after it. From the present tense, your present tense is now going to be translated as a past tense, right? No one has touched them. Okay, yatmis, who is the status of the fail is, what is the status of the fail here? There are three statuses: marfu, mansoob, majzoom. It is majzoom in status, bilam, right? What is the sign of majzoom status in this fail? Is it sakoon? Is it hasbin noon? Or is it dropping off a weak letter? It is majzoom bis sakoon. Majzoom bis sakoon, with the sakoon. Just add a ba, bis sakoon. Majzoom bis sakoon. Who is the doer? What is a let's see what's the pronoun in this word. Yatmis. The doer is insun, right? The doer is insun, but the pronoun is hua. So hua got cancelled, and insun is going to be the file for yatmis. Hunna is going to be, what is hunna? It is going to be the mafulun bihi. Sister Ashta, I will answer this hinna, which will where is it referring to? You are saying that it be going back to furush. From what I remember, I don't. How about I answer this one in our next session? Okay, this pronoun I have introduced to you. This sentence is this referring to Jannatan. However, I will get back to you on this one. Okay. Okay, insun is going to be the file. Qablahum is going to be idafa. So what is the status? Mutalik bil fi'l. Wow. At. What is la? La nafia. Jan. Matuf. Very well done. Very beautiful answer by Sister Amina. This is Matuf ala insun. Okay. Everything clear to each and everyone? If this la was not there, if I cut this la, is the translation the same? Lam yatmishunna insun qablahum wa janun. The translation is the same. When I put in la, what is happening to my sentence? Is negation emphasized? Yes or no? Is it more negative now? So this is la nafiya li tawkidin nafi. La nafiya li tawkidin nafi. So this is la nafiya, and this is also zaida, because without it, the meaning was the same. But what happened when I added it? It emphasized my negation. For this la nafiya, remember one thing. It will be preceded by negation. Do you see negation in this sentence? Do you see negation in this sentence? Where was the negation? What was the negating particle? Lam was there. Very well done. Lam is negating the sentence already, right? Lam yatmishunna insun قبلهم ولا جان. Right? ولا جان. So now you are seeing there is negation before it. That is number one condition. Number two condition for this la is you will see a wow there. Do you see wow? Wala jan. Wow is there before the la. Everyone make note of that. Then you will notice that there is either an ism matuf on an ism or a shubhu jumla matuf on shubhu jumla. Okay? Shubhu jumla is your jar wal majroor or your zarf. Okay? So let me show you an example of shubhu jumla here, which is matuf on another shubhu jumla, and the la is la nafiya li tawkidin nafi here. Let me just bring it because this is beautiful example of that. Copy and let's put it here for you so that nobody forgets it. That, you know, when I send you my notes, it's all in your notes and you can always review it. Okay. Ma lahum bihi min ilmin wala li abaihim. They don't have any knowledge of it, about it. Wala li abaihim. Do you think there is la nafiya here, li tawkidin nafi? Yes or no? Ma was the original sentence. It negation preceded by negation. First condition met. First condition met preceded by negation. Second condition preceded by wow. Met. Third condition, either jar wal majroor or zarf will be matuf. Can you see here? Is this a complete sentence or is it just a fragment here? Everyone please make a note of this. And some may call la nafiya li tawkidin nafi followed by a whole sentence, but standard definition of la nafiya li tawkidin nafi is whatever is matuf here is going to be either one ism, just like you see here, la yasma'una fiha lagwan wala ta'sima. Do you see a whole sentence or you see one word only? What do you see? One word. Is it kalam kamil or yani tam or nakis? It's just one word. Just one word. La bayun fihi wala khullatun wala shafa'atun. You are seeing only one word. Only one word in all these cases. Ghaira baghin wala adin. One word. Or you are going to see fragment. You should not be seeing a full sentence, but you may see some Arab book labeling a complete sentence after la, and then la, they are calling it la nafiya zaida li tawkidin nafi, but the standard definition of it is the matuf in this case is going to be either a mufridism or a fragment. Okay, and you are seeing both examples, they are right in front of you. Okay, now I'm going to take a pause. Okay, so these are the la that we have learned in our course Surah Ar-Rahman thus far. So lil mudare la yus'alu, right? That la was lil mudare. Mutarida alla tatghaw, an la tatghaw, right? That was mutarida. That was coming between harf nasb and a mudare mansoob. We called it interjectory la. It came in between harf nasb and its fail, which was mudare mansoob bi an. Then today you have seen, and you have seen this example before as well, la zaida li tawkidin nafi. Do you have any la zaida elsewhere that you have come across that is not for tawkidin nafi? Do we have any la that is not for tawkidin nafi? Anyone? Can sometimes la is there and it is not emphasizing negation, but it is zaida? Think about it. Think about it. La uqsimu bihazal balad. Is that la for li tawkidin nafi? It is zaida, but it is not li tawkidin nafi. So keep that in mind. Here you will see ma mana'aka alla tasjuda, an la tasjuda. It was again la is zaida, but not for emphasis of negation. For la zaida li tawkidin nafi, the complete name, there is one la that is just plain zaida. The la that is li tawkidin nafi must met all these conditions. So the homework for today is memorize all those conditions and find examples. Send at least 2 examples from Quran to Sister Faiza in your WhatsApp group. Instead of asking anything else, do this for today. Okay? So, سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. I will stop recording here.